weekend. It's a conference. It's a video conference over Zoom that you guys can be a part of. Tell them about it.
Yes. So tomorrow, Special Head and I are going to be doing a guided sound bath for everyone. It's going to be on live on Facebook. And what we're going to do is we're going to have it recorded, and then we're going to keep it up on Twitch TV through mindsoul.tech TV. And then the day after, I'm going to have some people talking about technology and mindfulness, and share the website with you guys later.
Yes, look for the website in the description. She's really amazing because she's creating this app that's a meditation app that's directed towards teenagers and young people, and it's kind of like mixing a game with meditation. It should be pretty exciting.
Yeah, so that's still in development, but it'll be out 2020.
She's a computer programmer. Isn't that amazing? Oh, hey everybody. Oh, what's up, Xavier? Hey, Steel Surfer. Yeah, so she's doing this little conference over Zoom, right? It's over Zoom?
Twitch TV.
Twitch TV, sorry.
It'll be recorded and up on Twitch TV. And you can send them the stuff later.
Oh, okay. We'll do it later. Really quick, let me put this out. And then we're going to do a guided meditation. Also, doing daily good deeds every day, I think helps reach that higher plane of consciousness. Just doing things that you feel good about yourself, you know, to reach that higher plane, you have to feel good about who you are, right? And if your mother taught you good values, selflessness is the value that makes you feel good about who you are. If you feel like you've made a good contribution to your community and society, then you will feel great about yourself, you know? And really, that's what the tribal mentality comes down to, is being able to feel like you are of value to your tribe, that what you have to offer, what you bring to the table, everybody appreciates and values. And that's why it's also good to show your appreciation for the people that do good in your community too. Oh yeah. How long can you meditate for? I don't know. I've never tried to test to see how long I can meditate.
Oh.
What?
The longest I've meditated was for an hour.
Oh, come here and say that.
The longest I've ever meditated was for 1 hour. And then when I was done, my body was all tingly because I couldn't feel it anymore. But it was a regression into past lives. Some people believe past lives are real, some don't, but I thought it was cool because it regressed me back to like my past 3 lives that I lived before this one.
Nice. What'd you say? Wow, 4 hours a day. I mean, I might not be at their level yet. And meditation alone is not going to bring you to a place where you can levitate, just to let you know. But here we go. I just want to show you this. It's a $20 bill. In the descriptions of my videos, if you guys want to leave a tip, well, this money goes to support me and help pay rent. Okay, wow, how was that? And where's that magic card at? So anyways, guys.
The one I sat on, I put it here.
Oh, okay. How about a Magic the Gathering card?
Oh, you don't have a mallet though for this?
No, I don't have the mallet for that. I can see all of your comments, and before we do the meditation, we can have a Q&A session where you guys ask me questions if you want, and I will try to answer. But really quick, I just like to start these videos off with A magic trick. See, I started playing Magic the Gathering when I was younger, when I was, 10 years old. I started when Revised was in print, when Dark was going out of print. You know, it's funny, I never wanted to be a magician. People would ask me, oh, you mean magic cards? Like, are you going to do a magic trick? And I was like, no, Magic the Gathering, right? So... Ah, it's hard. This is actually harder to levitate. Because there's a lot of ink and stuff in here. I can see what you say. Oh, I want to rap. Oh, Xavier knows me. Yeah, I wanted to be a rapper. Isn't that funny? But, it's hard for white guys. So I started with Magic the Gathering cards because I thought that it would be fun to make magic cards float. How are you guys doing? Yeah, I do chanting that clears my mind. I mean, I like doing ohms and throat singing and all of that. Yes, self-belief. You gotta believe in yourself for sure. Hey guys, okay. Do you guys want to see a magic trick that you guys can do at home? I love showing this. This is actually my favorite thing. It's weird. I confuse people because some of what I do is real and some of what I do is... What I do, it's called being a Fakir. And if you look it up, the Indian Fakirs were a sect of sadhus, and they would travel around and they would do these feats of strength, balance. They would eat glass, they would walk on fire, they would drink arsenic, and they would levitate. And it's very interesting because, have you ever heard of two truths and a lie? Right? They would basically present two things that were real. For example, they do two truths, they do two feats that are physically explainable, and then they would do one feat that was an illusion, that was trickery. Right? A lot of times the sadhus would do this to try to get tips, donations. They would say, bring us your sick and we will heal them. Right? They would travel from village to village and get money from people. Or sometimes they would try to gain a following of as a guru. They would use tricks and feats of strength and body and mind to gain followings of people that would, follow them. And that was another way. So the Fakirs kind of blended this like spirituality with also trickery, which is very interesting. And so Dakota, I'm not going to reveal over the internet how I do it. Okay, it would break the code. However, I will gather people together in real life in person, um, and I will teach a few people who, you know, have kind of passed the tests of morality, and, you know, just to make sure that they're not going to use these powers for evil. You know, should the powers fall into the wrong hands? Let's see here. I can see what you guys say. Okay, really quick, and you guys can start asking me questions. I just want to show you guys. Whoa! What I caught. Look what I caught, guys. I'm going to open my hands really slowly. Okay, I'm going to show you guys what I caught here. Right, ready? I'm going to open really slowly here. Oh, there's a little guy in there. It's a little man. It's just a baby hand on my finger, right? If you guys have one of these, you guys could do this too. It's really fun. You know, you don't tell people that you're going to do a magic trick. You just like run to the bush and act like you caught something really quick. And you're like, look what I caught, look what I caught. It's really fun because, you know, if there's some squeamish people, they'll be scared of it. They'll be like, I don't want to see a bug. I don't want to see a lizard. It'll jump on me. And then they'll be pleasantly surprised when they see it's just a little baby hand. It's just a little baby hand, right? So what you do to do that is you put the baby hand in your ring finger. Wow, it's really bright, these lights. Is that better? You put the baby hand on your ring finger right here, and then you fold it over into the palm of your hand, like so. Now you're going to put your hand over it, and then you're going to curl these other fingers around, right? So you don't want them to see this part, right? You're going to face it to them like this, okay? And then you just open it slowly and push the baby hand out, right? Kids love this. It's great for kids. You really want to get the kids going. You show them that. Just in case you didn't notice, I've been growing my hair out. It's kind of this weird commitment that I'm on to not cut my hair until the world has solved this coronavirus epidemic, right? I think the world really needs unity, right? We really need to work together as a nation, as a nation of humans on one planet to stop this. You know, I could say a lot about that, but I, you know, normally cut my hair, but now I'm just letting it grow out. Just thought you guys should know that's why you see me with hair. Doesn't it look good, guys? I mean, I kind of look good with hair. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. I'm going to read y'all comments. I really appreciate all of you guys. Thanks. Oh, SM. Hey, from India. Okay, let me see. Why is it harder to float a card? That's a good question. A lot of it's about the way that the card, let me show you. The reason why it's harder to float a card is because, like, okay, watch this. This might not really show you, but okay, if you crumple this up, you just look at the two shapes, right? This shape is less rigid and straight as this shape, right? So if I drop both, I bet you the dollar will fall slower. Well, you can't really see that, but this is a lot more smooth, this surface, right? And it's going to be much more likely to just fall through the air versus the dollar, right? When it's crumpled up, okay, so a dollar that's flat and straight like this is going to be much more difficult to float than if the dollar is crumpled up like this, because the dollar, it can catch more, if that makes sense. It can catch more of what's going on here. To answer your question, next question, and then we'll do a meditation after this. We'll do meditation together. Somebody asked, why do magicians mix truth and fakery? Well, because to really build the audience up. You know, most magicians, like myself, we're doing this as a show to inspire people to believe in something greater than themselves, to inspire them to believe in themselves, right? To inspire people to believe in the wonder that is, you know, existence. But to really hammer home a profound, like, I don't know, to really give the audience a profound experience, the using the two truths and a lie, formula. If you present people with two things that are, it's hard to argue is real, and then you show them a third thing that's not real, right? You can blow their minds because you've already built them up to this point of believing. It's part of the sell, in magic. Part of doing tricks is the sell, right? You do certain things to kind of build it up to make it more believable, to seem more real. And really, like, that's what entertainment is. It's like, you're trying to get the audience to suspend their disbelief. If you've heard of suspension of disbelief. Okay, so Xavier asks, so Danny, how did you get into all of this? Okay, that's a lot of questions. Qigong. I've done some Qigong. My mother practices Qigong. Oh, I want to show you the magic squares in a second. I will let you guys tell me a number, pick a number, and I will show you the magic square. I want to do a full in-depth video of the magic square. How would you describe your focus? So I'm focusing on the sound and the vibration that's in my throat, and I'm envisioning those vibrations traveling down through my chakras and causing all of my chakras to vibrate in unison. Your throat chakra and your root chakra are your creative chakras, right? So when you align those and cause all the chakras in between to vibrate, then you will be the ultimate performer. Okay. Yes, mainstream science does not accept a lot of things. My mother is a Buddhist. She does a lot of Qigong. And the vibrating just feels like a vibration. I feel it in my third eye sometimes. Recivit is here. Hey, what's up, Panda? Oh man, your name is Panda? Okay, so Xavier, in a second I'm gonna answer how I got into all of this. I want to show the Panda guy something. It's Michael Eisner. Hold on. Oh. Did somebody say panda? Oh my gosh, it's the pandemic panda. She's here, right? Yeah, look, somebody on here is named Panda Raga. Panda Rage HD. So we just had to show you that to represent. Okay. We'll get back to the questions, and then we will do a meditation. Man, I love all of you guys are like just open-minded and whoa, shoot, I'm gonna destroy this, I think. Oh man. I'm sad that this will get destroyed eventually. Because this is what happens when you get cheap stuff. Okay, really quick. First person to throw out a number between 20 and 60, I'm going to find your number with a magic square. Who knows about magic squares, guys? Magic squares are an intersection between real magic, like witchcraft, magic tricks, and mathematics, right? This is basically the mathematical secret of the universe. 369. And if you want to hear me rap, I will rap. Okay. I haven't done this in a while. Okay, somebody, let's see. I have to pick the first one, even though I do like the number 27, because it's a multiple of 9. Okay. The first number thrown out was 56. Okay, so I'm going to throw a bunch of numbers down here, just seemingly randomly. And then maybe I'll show you guys how to do this. Also, I'm accepting tips. Remember, I threw the dollar out. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I messed this up. This is supposed to be a 9. 2 is right there. 10, 11, 12, 36, 37, 38, 35. Okay. Let me make this more defined. This is a 36. Now, what I've done here is I've quickly created a combination of numbers in a grid that if you add up every single row, every single column, you will get that number that you said, 56. Right? Let's just write 56 up here. Let's just try it. So this is a 36. Right? And I want to see who is smart, who can figure out how I'm doing this, right? I will explain to you how this works. This is my favorite magic feat. It's the point at which real magic, magic tricks, and mathematics all intersect. I like inspiring the kids to, study math, because math is the most magical thing. The most realistic magic that you can find is mathematics. So the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Chinese figured this out independently, and they started making magic squares. And then they started using magic squares to make sigils, right? There's different sized magic squares that correspond to different planets that you would use to invoke different types of intentions. And they use the numbers, they assign numbers to letters of the word, of the intention that you're spelling out. It's really positive reinforcement. You're talking about how to ascend to a higher plane of mentality. A lot of it is positive reinforcement. It's just, it's almost like saying the same thing over and over and over again. And that's what doing a sigil is, How's my lighting? Do I look well lit? How about now? Okay, so watch. Let's add up some of the rows. Let's add 9 plus 38, right? 9 plus 38 is 47. 47 plus 2 is 49. 49 plus 7, that is 56. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 35 is 46. Oh, wait, sorry. 3 plus 6 is 9. 9 plus 35 is 44. 44 plus 12 is 56. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 10 is 19. 19 plus 37. Well, by golly, that is also 56. Right? Let's try a row, or call a row right here. These are the columns. 7 plus 12 is 19. 19 plus 1 is 20. 20 plus 36, that is also 56. 2 plus 35 is 37. 37 plus 8 is 45. 45 plus 11, going that way, is 56. Let's try diagonal. 36 plus 8 is 44. 44 plus 7 is 47. 47 plus 9, going diagonal down, that is 56. Wait, let's get another color marker here. Let's get out trusty red right here. Because that's not all, folks. Let's try in the corners, right? Let's try 7 plus 9 is 16. 16 plus 4 is 20. 20 plus 36. Well, that's also 56. Even the 4 in the center, 8 plus 35. That is 43. 43 plus 3 is 46. 46 plus 10, that is also 56. Even the ones that people forget about, 6 plus 38. That is 44. 1 plus 11 is 12. 12 plus 44, that is 56. Even 12 plus 2, that's 14. 5 plus 37 is 42. 42 plus 14 is 56. You guys could do the math for the rest. Your number, 56, is every single combination of 4 that's symmetrical. Your number is everywhere. Now, who can figure that out? Who can figure out how that works? Yeah, so sorry if your number wasn't picked, but I got good at doing mathematical calculations really quick. So this is kind of a test to see if you guys can figure out. First thing to try to figure out something is there's patterns going on here. The ancient Egyptians, the ancient Chinese figured out that there was a formation of numbers between 1 and 16 that would add up to form where every single row, every single column would add up perfectly, right? See, people studying nature, the first mathematicians were looking at nature and they're asking, why do seashells form in spirals? Why is there a process of doubling that happens in nature? And, the first mathematicians, they looked for patterns, right? So, say if this was 16 right here, right? And then you added 13, 5, 18 plus 16, you would get 34. So the first 16 squared magic square used 1 through 16, and all the rows and columns and diagonals would add up to 16. Now, if you notice, there's something that's off about these numbers here. There's a jump. Do you guys notice the jump in the numbers that happens between, we have 1 through 12, right? 12 is right here. And then all of a sudden the numbers jump up to 35, right? Did you guys notice that? There's this gap in the numbers, okay? If you notice, so the first magic square of 16 squares had 1 through 16, and they would all add up to 34, right? Somebody picked the number of 36, okay? Sorry, 56. Somebody picked 56, right? So if the traditional magic square, the squares added up to 34, right? And it was 1 through 16. I have 1 through 12, and then there's a jump in numbers, right? Let's try 56 minus 34, okay? Because that's the difference between the real magic square that's used to create sigils and witchcraft and this magic square that's used for a magic trick, right? So 34 minus 56 equals 22, right? Right? You guys can use your calculators. Now, let's see, 22, okay. Now if we minus, see the highest magic square that I had here was 38, right? The highest one. Normally, the highest number in the magic square that's used for sigils that, that they first discovered, used 16. So, let's minus 34 minus 56 is 22, right? Let's minus 16 minus 38. 16 minus 38 is also 22, right? So what I've done, if you notice, is the four numbers that are higher, that are much higher than 16, we have 35, 36, 37, 38, right, are exactly 22 points higher than the 1 through 16 magic square, okay? Which is the same exact number that 56 is 22 points higher than 34, which is what the original magic square ended up. So basically to do this, what I had was I had four variables going on here, right? So these four spots right here, you can label as A, B, C, D. And then I very quickly, when you said 56, there's a formula, and I'm not going to tell you the formula, I want you guys to figure this out on your own. There's a formula that I used when you said 56 to figure out what numbers these four spaces needed to be to get every single row, every single column, every diagonal to add up to 56, the number that was called out. Do you guys get it? I love magic squares, and I love showing it to you. Okay, let's see what everybody's saying, and then we can do a guided meditation after this. And, you know, I hope you guys enjoy your evening. Oh my gosh, did somebody just give me $50? Whoa, and it got you a little guy riding on a rocket. Oh my gosh, thank you, Recivit. But also, I must tell you, I really appreciate that you did that so much. If YouTube's gonna take half that $50. They're gonna take like 40% of that $50 you gave me, which is unfortunate. If you guys want to tip me, in the descriptions of my videos, there is a link to my PayPal. If you tip me via PayPal, YouTube is not gonna take a cut. But thank you for the thought. You know, maybe it will encourage more people to donate. That's Michael Eisner, everybody. We've been chatting on Skype a little bit. Okay, let's see. How does magic affect a person astrologically, like a person with a life path 5, birthday date to 5? This is very interesting. How does this magic effect happen? You know, I've only heard the magic squares apply to astrology as far as they're like linked to different planets. So like there's certain things, and this is getting into like kind of like some pagan witchcraft. I love studying religions and just the different things that people believe. Is that sometimes like different types of intentions are matched to different types of planets. Like I think Jupiter is like financial. It's like wealth and finance and like things like that. So if you want, you know, financial prosperity, you would do a sigil to Jupiter. And you know, Mars is like this masculine energy. It's kind of like aggressive, like, you know, take charge, even like fighting energy. You know, Venus is for love. So like sometimes when people are doing a ceremony where they are invoking sigils, they will have it course. They will do their ceremony. You know, if they're using Jupiter, they will say like they will do their ceremony right when the planet Jupiter is setting, or right when Jupiter is crossing through the moon, or right when Jupiter is, or should I say the moon is crossing in between Jupiter and us, or right when Jupiter is going through Orion's belt. But as far as like the magic square itself, I'm not sure all the ways that it would link to astrology. I know it's a form of numerology, which numerology links very heavily with astrology, but I'm not educated enough to, like, you know, tell you guys exactly, you know, how. I would get on the internet and research that. Maybe you guys can educate me. Is it true that science is another religion? No, I wouldn't consider science another religion. The Baha'i faith, the religion that I was raised, was saying that now, because we live in the post-industrial revolution era, and because education levels are high, that religion and science should actually agree with each other, right? That science should not be separate from religion. And the only reason why science was separate from religion way back when was because people had barely any foundation of scientific understanding, you know, to base anything off of. Does that make sense? So, you know, I think that science differs from religion in one major way, in that science uses this process of using a scientific method to prove something using evidence and observable you know, phenomenons that you can document, whereas religion focuses on an aspect of reality that we can't explain, that we will never be able to explain in this reality, because it's trying to understand the spiritual realm and how our souls that are currently trapped inside this body so that they can grow and have the spiritual experience, understanding the spiritual nature of our souls, using beliefs and the words of these avatars or prophets that came down to help educate us, that basically religion, you really can't prove it scientifically, that the spiritual world is beyond us, and we can't prove it spiritually in this world. I know, Recivit, you have a lot of stories, and I think proving the existence of God is very admirable. Oh, this December with the solar eclipse. I don't know. I mean, nothing crazy happened with the last solar eclipse. I think that, the solar eclipses, there's been a lot of beliefs assigned to what it means. I saw the total eclipse that happened a couple of years ago. I was in Oregon for that. When was that? 2017?
Sorry, I'm listening to my headphones.
Okay. You know what I find interesting about the solar eclipse or total eclipse, right? I find it very interesting that planet Earth only has one moon, right? We have a large moon compared to the relative size of Earth. Could you imagine if Earth had two moons, right? The tidal system would be very different, right? I wonder, and also there wouldn't be the same like total eclipse that we would experience today. And could you imagine if Earth didn't have any moons? Then we would never have a total eclipse, and then we wouldn't have the extreme tides that we have today. So sometimes I wonder if having just a one moon planet lended itself to creating life on planet Earth, because the process of complex proteins aligning themselves to form the first building blocks of life, right? The first DNA strands that caused the matter around those DNA strands to build proteins that created the first cells, the first living life, that spark. One of the theories is that this happened in sedimentary tidal flats, and then it was the raising and lowering of the tides that caused these DNA strands to form, that created the proteins around them. And maybe it was also lightning strikes that struck down on those tidal flats. So I really wonder, if we didn't have a moon, would there be no life on planet Earth, right? And then also think about it. Think about all the beliefs that people created surrounding the full moon, right? Or that people surrounded a lunar eclipse or a total eclipse, right? Look, I saw the total eclipse, and I tell you, it's the most fantastic thing that I've ever seen. I was at the Oregon Eclipse Festival, and it was crazy because it was like the main attraction of that event. You know, there was DJs and all this art and stuff, but the main attraction was this total eclipse that happened. And it was almost like it was God showing us, oh, you guys think that you're entertaining us awesome? Well, now here is the awesome power of God to entertain you. You know, enjoy the show. Because, I'd heard this before. Like, everybody said, oh, the total eclipse is something to never miss in your lifetime. It's just the most mind-blowing thing that you can experience. And it lived up to its reputation. Usually when people talk things up, it doesn't live up to the reputation. But this was the only thing that I've experienced where it was worth the hype. Okay, let's see what the next question is. What happened to the comments? Oh man, there's so many questions. Okay, I don't want to... Oh man, Recivic, thanks for being here. I have some... To add Sir Akbar, I've had like psychic premonitions. I've had psychic things come to me. Like, I've had dreams that have come true. The thing that's really, I can't read minds, but I have psychic connections to other people. The problem is that I haven't been able to channel the psychic energy to actually make good use of it, if that makes sense. It's really hard to know when something is truly a psychic premonition or if it's just my mind playing tricks on me. Hold on one second. I have to get the charger for this phone really quick. I am going to go to the protest, and I think I'm going to levitate because Paperboy said, come and levitate. Okay, let's see here. Oh man, thanks for sticking around, guys. Okay, so saved up. Do you think it would be stupid if I spent a saltwater fish tank? Okay, that's a funny question. It's like, man, if that's your passion, you know, I would say, you know, if you're saving up money and you're gonna buy something that like could be considered a luxury good, like a saltwater fish tank, like they could be a pain in the butt unless you know what you're doing, from what I understand. And I would say, if you're gonna buy some nice fancy stuff to put in your house, buy a house first, right? Buy some property so that you don't ever end up evicted, not able to pay rent with all of your stuff stuck out on the street, you know? You don't want to be stuck paying for storage for all those fish that are going to die, you know? And then, yeah, do I sun gaze? Well, I mean, when I was seeing the total eclipse, I did have the right glasses on, and I was looking up at it. Look, the total eclipse looked like sunrises in 360 degrees. It literally was like all the way around. What I could see was just, you know, sunsets in the sky, and then you could see the event horizon travel over the earth, and it got dark, and then you look up at the moon sun, and it was like the ring that you see. It was really amazing, and only lasted for a minute 30 seconds. I didn't know which way to look. And you felt this cold wind pass through, right? It was really crazy. It was like as soon as it happened, you felt this wind. Like it literally creates wind across the earth of this transfer of energy. It was really crazy. Oh man, I hear seahorses are really hard to keep, that they're really finicky and they could die easily. Akbar, I can't predict. We're trying to communicate through the internet. I can't see you in person. I can't really predict that much about you. I mean, I'm smart. A lot of psychic energy is actually deductive reasoning. There's a lot of reason and logic that people that are these fortune tellers, psychic people use to tell you your fortune. Okay, let's see if I missed any questions. Would you say that when you levitate, you would see the physical world with the perspective of being just a matrix? I mean, like just the Matrix, not like the movie, but I can see kind of like the chaos that happens and how it's kind of like kind of all fits together like a bunch of ants, if that makes sense. Oh man, John, I built a tiny home. Let's see, I'm scrolling back to see if I missed anybody. Do you know when's the next eclipse is? I think it's like in December or something, right? Is it this year? It's happening down in Argentina, I know. They're planning all these festivals that they had to cancel because of COVID. So how does the sigil magic squares work again? Oh, what a great question. Let me show you. This is just, I mean, I already explained the magic squares, so I would just say review the video. But basically, if you were going to use this magic square to create, and this is actually a different formation of the numbers that they traditionally use in Wicca to create a sigil. It's basically just intention setting. So I showed you that these are the four magic ones that you would use to do the magic trick. But then it would just be like this. It would be 13, 14, 15, and 16, right? So they're all going to add up to 34. So what you would do is, it's basically an intention setting, right? You're setting an intention for something, and then you're going to say, put the sigil on a candle and let the candle burn, right? Basically what you're doing is you're creating a form. You're creating this shape that's basically assigning letters to numbers. I want somebody, and then you're also using the specific magic square that corresponds to the planet of the type of intention. So since this is the magic square of Saturn, I want you guys, and this is like the sigil of prosperity and success. I want somebody to throw out like an intention, like a one-word intention that has to do with prosperity and success. I want somebody to say that. Just a one word, first person to throw it out. I'll write the word at the top, and then I'll show it. Sex. Well, okay. If we were going to do sex, we would use a different sized magic square. We would use Venus. If you want more sex in your life, right? And so we wouldn't be using this magic square. Love. Okay, again. Over unity. Okay. Again, this magic square is abundance. Okay, that's abundance. Okay, so we want abundance of resources, abundance of wealth, prosperity. Let me see. I'm really bad at spelling. Oh no, I marked on the wall. Let me see. How do you spell abundance? Dense. Is that how you spell abundance? A bun. It's like a bun dance. Oh, forgot the E. Okay, so now since we're using a 16 squared magic square, we're going to assign letters to these. We're going to assign numbers to these letters that correspond through 1 through 16, okay? So we have 1 through 16. Sometimes you take out the vowels, okay? So we're going to take out the vowels now. Take out the U, the A, and the E. Okay, so we have A, B, N, D, and C. Okay, so on the number scale, A is 1. Let me get the other color here. Okay. I know I really need a stand for this, right guys? So A is 1. B is 2. Well, you can count, right? N is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Whoops, I messed it up. Sorry. Let me do this again. A. Oh, wait. Shoot, I'm supposed to take out the A as well. That's a vowel as well. Whoops. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. So N is 14. 1, 4. D is 1. A, B, C, D is 4. N is 14. C is 3. Okay, so we have these numbers. So then what you're going to do, this is 12. I really probably should create a whole new thing. But you guys can see, right? 3, 2. Okay, so you start at 2, right? And now we're going to draw from 2 to 14. Where's 14 at? 14's up here. So you can draw from 2 to 14, right? From 14 to 4. 4 is down here. And then we're going to draw back up to 14 again. And now the last number is 3, right? So basically what we've done is we've created this shape. Now this is the shape of your sigil, right? So this, oh, do we have the dry erase marker, or the dry erase thing?
Oh, yeah.
So this is going to be your sigil shape. And you know what's crazy is that a lot of the new age witches, they actually do their unlock on their phone. You know how you swipe? Yeah. So taking all this away, right? So, you know, there's many ways to do a sigil. There's there's many ways to be a witch. You know, so it really depends on like which ancient people you're subscribing to. So now this becomes your sigil. And so you could carve this into a candle, or you can, you know, just draw this, or you could write it on little signs and put it around your house, or you can stare at this shape while you say chant abundance, abundance, abundance. You know, while you meditate on that. So I'm not like the most well-practiced witch, okay? I don't actually do this stuff very much, but I find it very interesting that, you know, this is how you make a sigil using a magic square. There's other sigils that have been this is how you make your own sigil, and I think that this is better than using a sigil that's already been created by other people, because when you make it yourself, you have the memories of making it, and it's something that's unique to you as an individual, right? So that's the sigil of abundance. I don't know, is there any witches on here? Because I really hope I didn't botch that, because I'm honestly not the well-practiced witch enough to be showing that, but okay, let's see. Did the butterfly grow? I don't know, the lighting changed. That could have had something to do with it. Over unity, abundance. Oh, cool. Okay, next question from Vio Masarda. Oh wow, oh wow, good idea. I'm doing that from my phone unlock setting for security. I want somebody to look at which planet does the 9. The only problem with using your iPhone security thing is you're stuck using the 9 squared sigil, which I think is Venus or Mars. Let's see. Let me look it up. Which Oh, sorry. I've been telling you guys the wrong thing this whole time. 9 is Saturn. Okay. Jupiter is 16. I always mix them up. Sorry about that. So basically, if you were gonna do your phone, you would only be using Saturn, the magic square of Saturn every time. Oh, nice. How do you stay productive? That's a good question. The religion I believe in is the Baha'i faith, and they believe that now we live in a society, a world where work has been elevated to the station of worship. If you are working hard at something, even when you're earning a wage, or working, making a profit, that if it's benefiting society and humanity, that is elevated to the station of worship, like you're worshiping God. So I always remind myself that to get out of bed. I'm a coffee drinker. That also helps. And just having, I love working. If I'm working to achieve a goal that I believe in, it keeps me going. It helps me stay productive. But in order to stay productive, I feel like you have to believe in the work that you're doing. Okay. Can you use power of the nature? Well, I mean, that's kind of a very open-ended question. Have you ever heard of ecosexuality? These are people that find their sexuality through nature. It's very interesting. Sexuality movement pioneered by Annie Sprinkle, the famous Annie Sprinkle. Look her up if you. But I mean, of course, there's so much power in nature. I mean, like, I find that I feel closer to God, to my higher power, when I'm in nature. I feel like praying to nature. I feel like we get so caught up with the city life, the city world, that like it's really nice to return to nature to remind us of our true purpose. You know, nature is kind of like a reminder. Um, but okay, so you asked me how do you stay motivated? That's the same as how do you stay productive. Um, can you use your chi with? Well, of course you can use your chi with nature. Um, I can't make it rain though. I mean, like nature is so much more powerful than anything that I can do. Um, I mean, I don't know. I think that setting good intentions can cause, you know, if you put good intentions and good positivity out in the universe, positive things can come. So like, yeah, if you do a rain dance, um, you know, maybe you could kick up enough dust, you know, into the atmosphere that would cause the moisture in the air to, you know, form droplets and rain down. Or, you know, it's people used to do a lot of crazy things in the name of their higher power, their God, their religion, or whatever. They used to sacrifice their own children. And, you know, then Abraham, you know, was going to sacrifice his own kid, and God came and said, don't sacrifice Isaiah. And then that was the start of monotheistic religions that didn't use human sacrifices in their practices. I think it was very important. God does not want us to hurt ourselves in the worship of God. So a silver coin and a flint rod, same process, colloidal silver, but with using hydrogen peroxide with distilled water. Yeah, I mean, like, what is it? There's like these Kinsian colloidal silver filter systems sound pretty good. Like people swear by them, like it gives them energy. Build a swall. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to stay motivated. You know, sometimes you're dealt like bad luck. You know, and you want to give up. You just have to always. You need little reminders in your mind to never give up. You know, and this is also part of prayer and the positive affirmation that is the sigils. Is, you know, it's just reminding yourself over and over, never give up. Never give up. When things get hard, never give up, right? I think that humans are creating weather patterns with all the pollution and, you know, chemical processes that we're putting out into the environment and the air. Oh man, Nikola Tesla was amazing. He created you asked me what I think about Nikola Tesla. He created like this free energy device, and part of the reason why I will never support J.P. Morgan Chase is because J.P. Morgan Chase shot down Nikola Tesla's free energy machine, basically created this coil, and actually this actually corresponds back to the sigils, right? Look up Marco Rodin and the Rodin coil, right? Because he created the same thing that Nikola Tesla was onto, which is basically this coil that allows you to pull free-floating electrons from the air and then charge batteries with it, right? So you can create free power that doesn't need like natural gas or oil or coal to subsist, to continue creating this energy, right? Nikola Tesla was amazing, and I use Tesla coils. If you haven't seen my videos, I use Tesla coils to achieve levitation. Yeah, I've been growing it out ever since COVID happened. I decided, you know what? I will grow out my hair and I won't shave it until the world has rid itself of this horrible pandemic. Do you guys know that that the coronavirus was made in a lab? It was actually didn't come from China. Supposedly, the conspiracy theory I subscribe to is that it came from a lab in London, actually, and then it was taken to China. What has being a human statue in common with magic? Well, being a human statue, I had to engage, in order to stand still for long periods of time, I had to train my mind to engage in some very intensive forms of meditation that allow you to continue meditating while you're feeling incredible physical discomfort. Because if you try to stand there holding a position for a really long time, standing completely still, well, you really have to focus to do that. and you'll start to feel your muscles will start to ache. You'll start to feel uncomfortable. So that's kind of how I got into the levitation thing, was through being a human statue. Wow, you guys have so much. Yeah, no, a lot of what's going on in politics. I mean, frickin' Trump is the biggest frickin' distraction. I mean, he's exactly what the powers that be want. They want a president who is a distraction, because that way they can do dirty tricks behind your back and you'll be distracted by this frickin' crap right here. Keep America great, guys. We made America great. Now we're going to keep it that way. Yo, anybody that thinks that this is America being greater right now hasn't been paying attention. They've been living under a rock. They haven't gotten outside of their small town out in the sticks. I'm sorry. I hope that doesn't, bother anybody. Here, let's light a candle for all the people that drank the Kool-Aid that got brainwashed by Fox News, guys. Here, this is in their memory. Cargo cult. That was a Burning Man. I think that's the Burning Man that me and Melissa met in. I know. I just have a really good memory. I remember like facts really easily. I was gifted with a great memory as a child. Like, I can remember being circumcised as a child. That's like some vulnerability facts right there about my life. It was like my parents were going to circumcise me, but then I kept getting like infections down there because my mother, mothers have to clean their child's foreskin when they're small, and my mother wasn't keeping it clean. Like, parents have to teach their uncircumcised child how to clean it, right? This is a little gross, right? But there's like a way. So I was getting infections, and the doctor said just circumcise them and it will clear up the infections. So I was circumcised when I was 1.5 years old, and I thought for the longest time that it was a dream that I had when I was a small child. I had this dream that I was taken to a doctor, and then they told me to lay down in a bed and go to sleep. And I had this awareness in the dream that there was this delicate, sacred part of my body that was going to be removed, that was going to be taken away from me. Like, I had this realization. I felt embarrassed about it at that time, and I felt vulnerable about it. And I remember waking up and asking the doctor, where is it? And then the doctor told me, well, it's right next to you. I felt separation anxiety, separated from my foreskin, right? And the doctor said it's right next to you. And in my mind, because I was under anesthesia or whatever, I thought that it was laying in the bed next to me. And the doctor told me, just go back to sleep, okay? And I remember feeling that separation anxiety lifted as soon as he told me that it was right next to me. And in the dream, it was hazy because I was on drugs. Because I was, having this little surgery of being circumcised. And I remember as I went to sleep, I turned to the side and I imagined the foreskin in the bed with me, not like laying in a medical tray, right? I imagined the foreskin right next to me and curling up next to me, like curling up next to it like it was my teddy bear, like it was my little foreskin teddy bear that I was like sleeping next to. And I remember feeling like safe, and that it wasn't detached from me, and that I was still with it. I was still with my foreskin, was still with me, right? And then through remembering that memory, I through realizing that it wasn't just a dream, that it was an actual memory that I had, I remembered even more memories of remembering my penis before I was circumcised, right? And looking down at it and remembering that it was itchy and sore, and telling my mom, Mommy, it hurts. And then I remembered looking down at my penis after it happened and realizing that it was different, right? That it had changed. And I was like, wow, that's what they did to it, right? And so it's crazy when you dive back into your memories, right? You start remembering these early childhood memories. You can unbury memories that have been buried deep in your mind, right? Through remembering the memories, right? So these memories came flooding back from this experience. And it's crazy. I started remembering all of this. Bye, Justin. I hope I didn't. Oh, sorry. You wanted me to answer. I just wanted to finish that story. I remember the whole circumcision thing. I'll answer your question about AGT. I started remembering this because I went to a canyon and Melissa saw this flying snake, and then I realized that this canyon that we were in when she saw the flying snake. Look up that YouTube video. It's very intriguing, right? There's like this mythical creature that Native Americans believe in. It's a snake with flaps that it uses as wings to corkscrew and fly in the air. Through remembering this memory of seeing this painting in my parents' house and realizing that that was a painting of this same canyon, Marble Canyon, that me and Melissa saw the flying snake in, I started remembering those early childhood memories of the dream that I had that really wasn't a dream, of when I was circumcised. So it's just really crazy when you do, you can meditate on your memories and try to uncover memories from your early childhood as well. I would recommend also looking at that flying snake video that tells the story of me and Melissa seeing this flying snake. Unfortunately, we didn't catch it on film. We probably never will. I have floated some keys. Justin, are you here? If you're still here, I will answer your question about AGT. Just say, I'm still here. What's your opinion on these blood sacrifices, with all these celebrity deaths, and the one Supreme Court lady? Well, I mean, it's unfortunate that RGB died, and it's unfortunate that, like, Mitch McConnell and these Republicans are going to go back on their initial value stance of, like, oh, in election year we should let the voters decide, right? We should let the voters decide and wait to confirm the justice until the next president takes office, right? And now they're going back on that word, and they're coming up with some BS excuse to say why they're flip-flopping on that initial stance. So, believe in dragons. I believe that snakes, it's funny you segue to dragons. Do you believe in dragons? I think that snakes are dragons, right? Snakes are the only dragons that are still alive, right? I think that back in the day, people dug up some dinosaur bones and they said that they were dragons. So I think when we saw the flying snake, it was like a dragon. So yeah, the heaviest object I've ever floated was some keys. Since Justin isn't on here anymore, I'm not going to answer his question. John, did you see me at Cargo Cult? There's a lot of negativity. Stephen S. writes there's a lot of negativity and fear, and then we're still breaking free from that. That's why the weather has been crazy. One thing that we see whenever the weather goes haywire or whatever, there's an earthquake and tsunami and a lot of people die and we have to rebuild the world. Have you noticed that since COVID has happened, there hasn't been any new wars started, right? People have been more peaceful. So unless there's any extra questions, how do you remember it at the age of 1.5? I don't know. I have a really good memory. I can remember all this stuff from when I was 2 years old, and I think that you're more likely to remember a memory when it's from that age, when it's like something that's traumatic or something that's like involves intense emotion from when you're a kid. I remember having fever dreams from when I was like 3 years old. I remember being in a diaper and having my diaper changed. I remember being in a crib. Okay, I don't know. I think that. I was born with some gifts. I was born pretty intelligent. I've never had an IQ test, but I have a very good memory. I'm very spatially intelligent. Like when I learned the calendar and the months of the year, like I still see it as like this circular loop that goes counterclockwise. The calendar in my mind, the yearly calendar is like a loop, and I would have this spatial imagining of the calendar and the day of the years, which is kind of crazy to imagine. At 6 years old, I was imagining time and a calendar as a spatial shape. Oh, the best way to explore your mind. I would say education. Like learning facts and things is the best way to explore your mind. And also meditation. Yeah, you can explore your subconscious that way. I mean, humans, one of the things that separates humans from animals, and this goes back to the Bible of creationism and Adam and Eve, right? I think Adam and Eve is just a... Yes, I was with Matthew Silver. Adam and Eve is just a metaphor for humans' evolving intelligence. Because the one thing that separates us from animals is that humans will never be content with our surroundings, right? We have the capability of abstract thought, and we have the ability to imagine something existing that's not right in front of us. So with that abstract thought, we can imagine our lives being better in a different way, right? We can imagine, we can take that imagining of the world being better and use that to construct something to actually make the world better for us. So animals are content with their surroundings. Humans are never content. And so as soon as Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge, right? As soon as we evolved that knowledge and intelligence, right? We were immediately cast out of the Garden of Eden to toil endlessly in the wasteland, right? And that represents mankind, men and women, being at one with nature in the Garden of Eden. It was a paradise because we were content with it. We were content with that garden being the way it was. And then as soon as we ate from the tree of knowledge, we were cast out into the desert wasteland to never be content, to always be toiling endlessly to try to improve our human situation. Do you have your own theory about what galaxies are? I mean, I think that science has really shown us what galaxies are. I mean, I subscribe to a lot of science, but then there's a lot that science can't explain and we might never be able to use science to explain in this lifetime. So other galaxies are just like our galaxy, it's clusters of stars. I don't believe in flat Earth theory because I think that one way to understand things is to look at the other things that are similar and say, oh, we look up at the heavens and we see Mars, we see Venus and Saturn and all these planets, and they're round spheres in the sky, and so if that's what they are up there, we must be on something that's pretty similar to that up there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, to learn about myself, a lot of times I try to see it through other people. I try to see myself in other people, and that's one way that I learn about myself. I mean, the Bible feels right, but there's also something that happens that's called repetitive confirmation or repetitive affirmation, that if you were raised going to church in a Christian society, then you were raised with the Bible being said to you over and over again from when you were a child. The priests saying this, and a lot of this is you can't remember all the times that you went to church, but it's become ingrained in your mind subconsciously. So that's what's going to feel right. I had a friend take acid, and he became Christian afterwards, right? Because Jesus came down and talked to him, right? And I asked him, he wasn't Christian, but then after this one acid trip, he became Christian because Jesus talked to him. And I asked him, well, were you raised going to church? And he said, yes, I was, raised in Kentucky, going to church every Sunday. And I said, well, I think that if you were raised in Persia, in a Muslim household, praying 5 times a day and going to the mosque instead of the church, if you had that same acid trip in the same exact context, instead of Jesus coming to talk to you, it would have been Muhammad. Because those are the memories in your mind. That's a subconscious that's been, ingrained in your mind, that the LSD is channeling through you. Do you know what I'm saying? It's actually, the levitation is yoga balance. It's a feat of strength and balance and meditation concentration. And I call it reverse yoga because it makes me really, really sore and tired, and it throws my chakras all out of balance. So I have to meditate and practice real yoga in order to rebalance myself from doing the levitation. It's basically, it's a parlor trick. Do you know what I'm saying? It's something to do to catch people's attention. And the prophets, the prophet Baha'u'llah said that in the future, the need for future prophets to do miracles to get people to believe in them will be less and less, because people will become more and more educated and be able to use their education and their literacy and their knowledge to determine if the next prophet is really a legitimate prophet. I believe in progressive revelation, that God periodically sends new prophets down to teach and educate mankind, because mankind evolves, progresses beyond what the previous prophets could handle. I believe that the Industrial Revolution, the telecommunications revolution, all the changes that we're seeing today is actually the prophecy of Revelations. It was just that there was no way for Jesus to explain the Industrial Revolution to those people. There was no way for Jesus to explain the internet to people. There's no way for Jesus to explain evolution to people. And so the religion I believe in, I can talk more about Baha'i faith. I've done some videos about the Baha'i faith. But basically the Baha'i faith came in the 1800s. 1844 was the declaration, which all of these Christian Mennonites gathered at the base of Mount Carmel, right? German Mennonites gathered there when Baha'u'llah was there, because they knew that he was going to come to Mount Carmel. And he did come to Mount Carmel. So this guy, Baha'u'llah, was the return of Christ. Basically because mankind has advanced, mankind has progressed, and there needs to be a new renewing of the Word of God. Christianity has splintered and fractured into all these sects and groups that fight against each other. It's disunified itself. And also many churches have become corrupted. I mean, look at all the scandals in the Catholic Church, Oh, France. Go France. When I touch something, I feel vibrations. Am I okay? I'm not sure. I can't diagnose. But, I mean, there's vibrations in a lot of things. Like, maybe you're just very sensitive. Like sound waves are vibrations. Like the little tiny atoms that are in matter are essentially vibrating. That's what gives matter mass, is the electron clouds that are going around. If you're studying to be a magician and everybody says it's the devil, maybe you need a new community, my friend, because that's what Jehovah's Witnesses say. Like they're afraid of things that they can't understand. If they can't understand it and it doesn't have a cross on it, if it's not saying this is Jesus right here, then they turn away from it and they say that's devil. You must be. If it doesn't say Jesus on it, there's only two things that could be magic: either the devil or Jesus. So if it's not Jesus, then it's the devil. It's like a really faulty process of elimination that basically ignores like everything else. And that's one of my big problems with Christianity, is they basically say that like there's either Jesus Christ and Christianity, and then there's everything else, and our church is the only right church, and you're going to hell if you don't practice Jesus. There's many pathways to God. The only thing that's wrong about religion is telling other people that they are wrong for what religion that they practice. It's like, if somebody is saying, everybody else is crazy except for me, everybody else is wrong except for me, I tend to stay away from that, because it's like, look, if everybody's saying everybody's crazy except for me, like, I don't know, then everybody's just crazy. Like, how do you know who the right one is? So I would say maybe you need to find a new community if everybody's saying that magic tricks that they don't understand is devil. It's like, it's basically like saying that things are only black and white and there's no gray area in between, right? It's like, if it's not Jesus, it's the devil, right? There's so much more than just Jesus and the devil, guys. It's like putting these like binary labels on things, We know that reality is not that black and white. The future is going to be incredible, by the way. It's not time for me to unveil it yet. Yes. I mean, yes, the future is going to be freaking incredible. So yeah, religion, Christianity, I suggest looking into the Baha'i faith. The Baha'i faith believes in science. They believe in evolution. Basically, they believe that the reason why Jesus didn't explain evolution to those people way back when is because they had no foundation of science to base it off of. God only revealed, part of progressive revelation is that these prophets only reveal enough information that society and mankind can handle at that time. It's like children going through school, right? Your first grade teacher is not going to start teaching you the algebra that the seventh graders are learning. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it would wouldn't be able to understand it because they're just learning how to add and subtract in first grade, right? You can't jump to algebra in first grade, and the same is true for the people living 2,000 years ago. You know, the messages that were given by Baha'u'llah in the 1800s, you know, when the Industrial Revolution was happening, there was no way, you know, Jesus was not going to be explaining that same information to the people 2,000 years ago. I mean, those people, you know, still thought that the earth was flat, you know? Okay, what's going on? What you guys saying? Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, John. Oh, you saw me at the burn. Yeah, that's me. Where did you see me at the burn? Cargo cult. Not costume cult, right? That's a camp at Burning Man. Neil the Gress. Huh, interesting. Melissa? Do you guys want to do a guided meditation? Or should I skip that? What time is it anyways? So yeah, I like blending performance art with Okay, we're just going to do a quick 5-minute meditation, guys. Yes, you could be anything you want to be. Just work hard and never give up. Right? And, yeah, work hard and never give up. You can do anything. Let me see here. So I want you guys to get in a comfortable place. You know, I like to find a place where my back can be resting against something because I get fatigued when I'm sitting upright. Like if I'm really want to go deep into the meditation. So this is just like, whoops. Here, I'll show you guys a meditation that I made up myself. Okay? I started trying to do this, okay? So once you're in a comfortable location, get comfortable and try to pick a spot where there's no outside noises going to bother you. It might be hard, no family members getting into your personal space. It's nice to put on a white noise or even some meditation music. You could turn a fan on. You know, the white noise is just there to kind of drown out all the other sounds. And most all meditation, you're going to focus on your breathing, your breath in and out. And breathe in and out just a little bit deeper than how you normally breathe in. Once you get deep into it, your breathing will just relax into normal breathing, but breathing in a little bit deeper helps you focus on your breath. And as you're breathing in and out, I want you to count your breaths. 3 counts per breath in. 1, 2, 3. 3 counts per breath out. Breathe in, 2, 3. Breathe out, 2, 3. And try breathing in and out through your nose. Breathing in through your nose helps your mind perceive the prana energy that's flowing in. This life force energy that's flowing all throughout the universe, the prana. Imagine it going in through your nose and entering your lungs, filling up your lungs like 2 balloons in your chest. Imagine those lungs with your heart nestled in the middle, beating. And I want you to become aware of your body. That's all you are, your mind, your body, and your soul. And with each breath out, as a thought comes into your mind, I want you to imagine that thought exiting your mind through your nose. All the troubles of the day, the pains of the world are exiting as you breathe out through your nose. Now I want you to focus on your toes. Feel your toes there, existing in space. You can curl them in for a second. How do your toes feel? They are there. And then imagine, put your consciousness into the pads of your feet, the bottoms of your feet, moving up to the balls of your feet. Imagine yourself inside your foot. Your whole entire foot is swelling and pulsating with each breath in and out. Imagine as you breathe in, your feet are connected to your lungs and they're expanding. Now move your consciousness up to your ankles. Your ankles, they're there. How do they feel? They're there. Now imagine your mind, your existence is moving up through to your calves and your shins. How do they feel? They are part of it. Now as you move up your legs to your kneecaps and your thighs, without flexing, imagine your thighs are flexing in unison with your breath. In and out. In and out. Still counting your breaths. Breathe in. 2, 3. Breathe out. 2, 3. Now moving your mind up to your root chakra in your groin, your creative center, all the energy that flows out, your ability to create life, your creative life force, and your hips. Imagine your hips that bring you up to your core and your flow of movement as you traverse your environment. You use your hips and your stomach to guide your way. Is your flow of movement. Now imagine yourself traveling up through to your chest, up where your heart beats and your heart chakra, and all the love that you have to give, flowing out like a radiant energy force coming out of your heart. Now imagining your lungs that surround your heart, breathing in and out as these bags open and close. And move your consciousness up, imagining your shoulders, and then your neck, your throat chakra, your voice. And if you want to, you can let out an Om sound. Feel your throat vibrating. moving up into your head, the place where your consciousness normally likes to live. Skipping your third eye, move your consciousness up to your crown chakra. And imagine a thread going up through the top of your head. Now you're going to draw that thread of energy up to the heavens, connecting you to higher power. As the thread makes its way down, imagine that thread making its way down all the way to your root chakra. You are now grounded to your higher power. And then I want you to work your way down to your third eye. Imagine that point of energy. And allow your consciousness to enter your eyes. And when you focus your consciousness in your eyes and your third eyes, focus as you breathe in and out. Focus on that point. And when you focus on the 3 points of your eyes, the Triforce that's right here, you will start to feel a vibration occur. You will start to feel it vibrating. Your third eye will start to feel vibrations. And you can play with this energy. You can focus that energy in such a way that the vibrations stop. I want you to try to stop the vibrations by focusing your energy. Make that vibrating third eye cease to vibrate by how you focus your intention through your eyes, how you focus your consciousness through your eyes. And if you make the vibrating stop, imagine a point that's outside of your third eye. Imagine that point, and that's where it's vibrating. It's a point that is right where your third eye connects with your aura, that soul that extends beyond your physical body. Imagine there is a lotus flower that grows out from your third eye and blooms at that point of energy right here. I want you to focus your intention on the blooming lotus flower. That when you breathe in, it opens a little bit. And when you breathe out, it closes a little bit. And still continue focus on your breathing. I love you. You love you. God loves you. Everything will be fine. Everything will turn out right. There's nothing that is placed in your life that you can't handle. You have this. This is yours. This is your life. For eternity. It's your higher power's gift to you. Because you are the higher power. And this is the way God experiences itself. Is through becoming you. God experiences itself by worshiping itself. Through splitting itself into infinite pieces of soul with the grand journey of reuniting to be one with higher power. I love all of you. Oh, wow. Hello, everybody. I want to cut this short. I said it was only going to be a 5-minute meditation because I am hungry and I have to go to a protest. Yes, Melissa has an Instagram. Her name on Instagram is Vivi Valentina. She's not my wife yet. She's my fiance. I did propose marriage to her. She did say yes, but we were going to get married and then COVID-19 happened. COVID was kind of devastating on a lot of accounts. I lost a lot of money. I lost a lot of tour dates, a lot of gigs. And we had this whole wedding planned in April that we had to cancel. But you know what? I thrive. Whenever things go wrong, I thrive because I know that everything will turn out. Everything will happen. And if it wasn't for the trials and tribulations of life, well, we wouldn't have as interesting of a story to tell. And it's the trials and tribulations that build our character and build us stronger. Oh, thank you guys. I tried. I mean, it was just, honestly, that's a meditation that I made up. I've been to a lot of meditation sessions. And then I thought that I would just make up one myself. So thank you guys for staying tuned. I know it was short, but hey, you guys can rewatch the video and try that on your own. Thank you guys. Do you guys notice that now after doing that, I don't know if you can tell the tone of my voice, but can you tell that I'm calmer in my tone now after doing that meditation? Did you guys see that my energy levels were like pretty up here? And now that I've meditated, there's like this calmness in my voice. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, Quentin. Oh, that was a reincarnation. People that annoy you the most are your biggest blessing. Every trial is a lesson in advance, and you where you will eventually end up. Wow, thank you, Fred. Absent. Hey, I appreciate all of you guys. I stopped smoking weed. No, I can't. I mean, I've been able to really levitate with the power of a Tesla coil. The levitation you see is like the levitation you see is like it's like a feat of strength and balance meditation that's meant to simulate levitation. Because I'm holding on to the stick, you know, I'm still holding on to something. I've been able to do the yoga balance thing for 5 minutes. But hey, I appreciate it. I love each and every one of you. I gotta get off of here. I have to eat something, and we gotta go to a protest. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys. All of you, man. You guys keep me going. I want to make another video explaining the magic squares and sigils more in depth. Edit the video very well. Don't forget to vote, guys. If you're in America, we really need you guys to vote. You know, I'm really worried about democracy. I'm actually a patriot, guys. Watch. You want to see a magic trick? Oh my gosh, the butterfly was hiding a flag. But I believe in America. I believe in democracy. My ancestor was Benjamin